start with, it's nice to win. It's nice to win at home, and as I told the team last week, and I even think I said it in the press conference on Monday, that last week we lost Game 6 on the road, but this week we had the opportunity to play Game 7 at home and finish this thing. And really proud of the way that this team answered the challenge. I can't say enough positive things about these players, the heart that they have, the way that they compete. I am just really blessed and fortunate to have an opportunity to coach such a great group of young men. And the way that they have come together, when you look at this team, we talked a lot early in the year about the opening schedule for the first 5 on the road against bowl teams, how challenging it was going to be playing on the road against Oklahoma and Auburn, two top 5 ranked teams. We're going to learn a lot about our football team and just the way that this team has evolved, the way that they've come together, the way that they've been such a work in progress, as we have called it. Just really proud of what they've been able to accomplish on the field, and to be able to win the West is a huge feather in the cap of these players, of this school, and only our second year in Conference USA. I'm just really proud of this group of young men. I can't say enough positive things about that football team we just played. David Bailiff is an excellent football coach. Rice has done an incredible job. I know they beat us last year 52-14. They graduated a bunch of seniors, and here they are in the championship, the final game of the year with the opportunity to play for it again. And I have great respect for him and know that football team will bounce back and be strong, and I think that he does a great job. So this really has a chance to become a pretty special rivalry with Rice and Louisiana Tech, as a lot of those are going to start to be formulated in a new conference, and we're going to start to play each other each and every year. But I can assure you, as Bobby Bowden used to say it, the whooping we took last year at Rice and the whooping they took this year in Ruston is definitely going to linger on both sides for a long time. And I think this is going to be a great battle and a great game as we go forward. I can't say enough positive things about Cody Sokol. Wow, I guess is the thing. Never ceases to amaze me with what he's been able to do in such a short period of time, and the grasp he has on this offense, and the way he sits back there, and the way he operates, and the way he distributed the ball today. Because the difference in this football game, we went the first series, we said we were going to run the ball. They were putting everybody up on the line of scrimmage and trying to play very aggressive. We tried a quarterback sneak. They're in zero coverage, everybody on the line, and we don't make it. But really, when we didn't make that, it was like, okay, I see where it's going. I mean, you're going to put everybody in the box, so we're going to throw it, but we're going to throw it deep. We're going to try and get big chunks of yardage if you're going to play a lot of man coverage. And anytime you rob Peter to pay Paul, anytime you put everybody up in the box, we've got a couple guys in Paul and Trent and Carlos and Hunter Lee and Sterling and some guys that have the ability to take the top off of it. And I thought Cody was the guy that made it all work. And the other thing that went with that was having the running game with Kenneth Dixon, and the way that offensive line protected Cody and the way they opened holes. Can't say enough positive things about the entire offense and the effort that went into it. Defensively, 4 turnovers against a team that has had 3 turnovers in 7 games. They've had 3 turnovers in 7 conference games, and for them to come out and get those turnovers and give us the opportunity to take some big play shots on a sudden change and put some quick points up on the board was the difference in this football game. I thought the defense played an excellent football game. Proud of these seniors and proud of this football team with what they were able to accomplish.
Coach, on a personal note, you just win today with your family here. What's it feel like?
It's pretty special. I mean, I told my mom we had to get it today because she flew to Virginia last week. She flew to here this week. She was going to put some serious air miles on the card with flying around, trying to make sure that she was here for it. But having my mom in for the game, my wife, my son's in from Texas, some of my dear friends, the Conrads. I mean, just a lot of people that are here. It's special. I mean, it brings back not just this win, but memories of so many great teams and players and coaches that I've been blessed to have the opportunity to be around. And 100 wins is huge, and to get that, but I mean, to get it with this football team is really, really special to me, because I don't know that I've had a football team that has had to overcome so much with the schedule and all the new faces and 3 new coaches on defense and everything to make this year work. But this group of guys is really, really special. They'll always have a special place in my heart.
Coach, you talked about the way you responded to that first drive offensively. A lot of coaches whether right or wrong, will try and sort of impose their guy on the next series, and because you have a great back in
Right.
Kenneth. But does that speak to the confidence you have in Cody's deep passing game, that you are like, hey, they're going to put it in the box, we're going to throw it, we're not going to try and impose this, we're going to take advantage.
I think I was asked the question this week about, do I script plays? Do I script the first 20 plays of a game? The game for me is kind of like when they put the ball on the tee. It's like everybody take a deep breath. All right, what are they giving us? All right, this is the coverage. This is, and it's almost like at that point, it's like a 3-hour auction. You got too high, you got this, you got, you know what I mean? It's going, and you're on that headsets, and it's just constant on what's going on in the game, and then you're trying to plug it in. I couldn't do what I'm able to do without Tony Peterson upstairs with his eyes in the box and the job that he does, and those offensive coaches, and the game plan is a group effort, and everybody's got some great ideas, but we've got a good team. We've got a good team right now, and I feel that I say a team of coaches, team of players, and I feel very comfortable that if we had to get in 2 tight ends and grind it out and pound it out, that we've got an offensive line and a running game that could do that. I also feel that if we have to spread it out and we've got to throw it 60 times a game to put up points and win, I feel pretty good that we would have an opportunity to do that. And that balance is one of the things that gives us an opportunity to have some success on offense.
Coach, I'm sure you watched the track meet yesterday between Western Kentucky and Marshall. What did you take away from the game?
I'm really impressed with their offense. Obviously, with the way they can run and throw it, and Cato is special. We've had an opportunity. Every film that we get, if they've played Marshall, we watch it because their offense is somewhat similar to ours as far as what we do with the spread and everything. So we've watched an awful lot of football on them. And Cato is a special quarterback, and they're really a special team. They're explosive as they could be. I think that Western Kentucky went in there and they were able to hit some big plays, and they really challenged their team, and they went out there and they played a heck of a football game. But Western Kentucky's got a really good team as well. But right now I know that Marshall is going to be fired up. They're going to be excited. They get the opportunity to host. We go there to play. It's got all the makings to be what a championship game should be.
Was it more difficult to keep the kids focused watching that Marshall game, seeing them lose, knowing that last week if you could have won,
Yep.
you would have hosted? Was it tough to keep them focused?
No, not really. I think the focus became Game 7 at home. What we had the opportunity to do, and we talked about right now. Rice has something we want. Rice is a defending champion. In the team meeting last night, I put up a picture in a PowerPoint presentation of Rice holding up the trophy last year. I said they've got what we want, and it's not that we need to go protect anything. If we want it, we got to go earn it. We got to go take it. We got to go get it done on the field. Another question is like, wow, do you feel like it's slipping away? If Rice would have lost last week, we would have won it, and if we would have won at ODU, we would have sealed the West. And do you think it's slipping away? I said it's Game 7 at home. This is what you want right here. Game 7, an opportunity at home to play it. So we didn't lose anything last week other than a game, but we didn't lose the opportunity to win the West. And these players really are the ones that got it done. I can't say enough positive things about them. No, go ahead. I'm just
kind of talking
rambling.
about this leadership council, I believe you called it, that you formulated at the beginning of your, help them formulate.
Yes.
To recover from things like last week, the NSU loss,
Yes.
Auburn, whatever, because you've had a lot of peaks and valleys this year, real high highs, low lows. What have you personally seen out of that leadership council? Was it everything you thought it would be?
And more. And more. It's going to be what the players make it, is what it's going to be. And we talked about, we've got a lot of underclassmen that are leading this team. A lot of underclassmen that deserve to be in that conversation. When you talk about Trent Taylor, Xavier Woods, some young guys that are being really productive on the field. That we just said, I let the team vote on the leadership council, the ones that they wanted to put on there. And those guys have really taken it. They've taken it to heart. And they have really taken leadership onto themselves, rather than just the 4 captains who I thought were 4 great picks. But it's not just those captains; it's that leadership council of about. There's 21 players on that leadership council, and they have done a phenomenal job. And they've taken ownership of this team, and that's why I keep giving the credit to them. They're out there doing it. Their attitude, their mindset, they're determined. I'm the rudder right now. I'm just steering it a little bit, but they're the engine room. They're the ones that are driving the boat. I'm really proud of them.
after coaching for some time now, Coach, can you think back to this year and the success you've had? Is there anything that you've done this year that you've maybe never done in your career before that you feel like has worked and you continue to do?
I mean, I've done the leadership. I think a lot of the things that we've done, you draw on 15 years of experience as a head coach. And I mean, there's only one way to learn, and that's to go take the skin off the end of your nose and make some bad decisions and say, okay, I'm not going to do that one again. But, you know, there's a lot of things that I've learned from a lot of great coaches, my father, Bobby Bowden, Earl Bruce, a lot of guys that I've had the opportunity to mentor under that have taught me an awful lot, and I've drawn a little bit from all of them. But I think you just try and take, every team is different, and every football team, we say, has a life expectancy of 1 year, and you've got new leaders every year, and new chemistry every year, a new football team every year. And putting this one together was not easy, just because there's so many new faces and so many guys that have been brought in here in the last year with 20 seniors, and 14 of them have been recruited in the last year and a half to be here. So many new faces: Cody, Houston Bates, Paul Turner. I mean, I go on and on about all the faces that are playing college football for the first time this year and trying to get them all together and gel them. There's a lot of things that I have learned from this football team. This football team has taught me an awful lot, and I think I've drawn on a lot of my experiences to do some of the things we've done. But this football team has taught me much more than I believe that we've taught them. Just the way that they have come together, and their hard work and their attitude and their unselfish play. Because right now we don't have anybody on defense as one of the lead sack guys or lead this or lead that. But it is a total team effort, and you just watch those guys celebrate and how excited they get when the team has success, and that's what brings joy to them, and that's what makes this football team so much fun to coach and be around.
In your wildest dreams, did you see 76 points?
I'm not going to sit up here and go, yeah. I would thought no problem. I will say this though, we felt like we could expose some things down the field if given the opportunity with some of the matchups one-on-one. And when they loaded the box early and took away a quarterback sneak and put everybody on the line of scrimmage, it was like, all right, we're going to get an opportunity to see if we can execute some of these opportunities. And we took a lot of shots down the field, probably more than we have. But I thought they executed it. So felt like we could score points, and I'm not going to sit here and say I knew we could score 77, because the only way you can score 77 is if your offense is humming, your defense is playing well, you're getting turnovers, you're creating short fields, your kicking game is getting you scoring opportunities. It takes a team effort to score that many points.
Early on in the season, it seemed like you talked a lot about the defense carrying the team because you knew the offense was sort of a work in progress,
Yes.
as you have said many times.
Yep.
But with where you are right now and seeing the way the team played today, and really as of late, do you feel like y'all are playing your best football as a complete team, and no better time to play it, obviously, going to the conference championship?
We have gotten better as the year's gone on. Some guys have stepped up. Well, there's the experience of some of the underclassmen. Carlos Henderson, who early was dropping a couple balls. All of a sudden he gets out there and his presence is felt. And Paul Turner did a great job. And so many guys, Cody's playing really well. The offensive line is getting better and better, and the way that those guys are competing, I think we have improved. I told Manny when we met about this in the offseason before the season started, was that defensively, with so many familiar faces and upperclassmen on that side of the ball, that we were going to have to carry this team early while we tried to figure out what we had on offense and what we could be. And early, I was ready to say, let's just run the ball and punt it away and say, defense, you win it. And, you got to go 80 yards against our defense, which is not easy to do. But as the year has gone on, you feel more and more confidence that we can open some holes, we can run the ball. We have an opportunity to outscore some people if that's what we need to do. So just really proud of the players and the way that they have come along and how far they've come. But we played, that was our most complete football game today.
How much of an emotional lift was it to get a leader like Hunter Lee back out there and involved in the game and all?
Huge. I mean, Hunter Lee is a great person. He's a captain. He has an incredible amount of respect from these football players. They respect toughness. A great football team will respect toughness and commitment, and I think that's what Hunter Lee is. I mean, and I think that's why he has so much respect on this football team, and to have him back, it's huge. It's like, welcome back. Everybody was glad to get him back, and even though he hadn't played, he's been traveling with us and been an emotional part of this football team the last couple of weeks.
All right.